Steelers. It's because their pass rush. They have guys, TJ Watt, Bud Dupree, Cam Hayward. They have guys that can get pressure on the passer without blitzing. And also, they're not afraid to blitz. Their secondary hasn't been all that consistent, but they make big plays when they need to make them. So that is a scary team for the Chiefs. I think obviously the Chiefs are still probably the favorites in the AFC, but you also have an offense that can put up big points in the Steelers, and they don't have to take risky passes. They can throw short ones that turn into big ones. So I think they are the team that the Steelers might have the most trouble with, or excuse me, they're the team that the Chiefs might have the most trouble with in the playoffs.
Okay, you're right. So that was an easy one if Pittsburgh was the answer. We've had a lot of people here talking a lot about the Vegas Raiders this week. This one's not as easy. Could the New Orleans Saints win the Super Bowl with Taysom Hill as their quarterback?
You said it's not easy? This is the hard question? I mean,
yes.
I think the answer is no. Like, I think the answer is obvious no, and I don't want to bag on Taysom. He had a great game last week. They won. It was outstanding. He threw some passes that were good, and he threw some passes that were not so great. But I think the true story about why they won last week was that defense was out of their mind against a very good offense. And maybe they were motivated and had to step up because they lost Drew Brees. But I don't think, as good as their defense is and as talented as their defense is, they're not going to be able to get like 8 and 10 sacks every week and create a short field for that offense. So I think Taysom Hill can win several games for them. But when they are in the playoffs and every team they play against is good, at some point they're going to need their quarterback to put them on the back. That tends to be what happens in the playoffs. And I'm not sure that Taysom Hill is going to be able to do that through the course of 3 weeks in the playoffs.
Okay. Then let's see if this one is as easy. I'm going to name 4 teams for you. Washington, Detroit, the Giants, the Dolphins. All of them drafted ahead of the Chargers this year. How many of them should regret passing on Justin Herbert?
All of them except for one, I guess, and that one would be the Dolphins. The Dolphins have 4 first-round picks in the next couple of years. So if Tua doesn't work out, which I think Tua will work out, man, look at this pass. I'm sorry. I lost my train of thought. That's how I feel whenever I watch Herbert throw. He throws some of the most incredible balls. So I think that all the teams will be disappointed because Herbert's going to be great, or already is great in this league. But I think the Dolphins have a quarterback that they believe in a way that those other teams don't. And they also have 4 first-round picks in the next 2 seasons. So they can trade up and get another quarterback if they are not high enough in the draft. The rest of those teams, though, they're going to wish they had taken Justin Herbert.
Bookmark this one. This is a conversation I want to come back to, you and me, a little bit later. Dominique Foxworth. Meantime, let's bring the rest of the crew in here, and let's go on the clock on a couple of other topics here. We'll put 30 seconds up, and everyone's got something to say about something interesting happening in the world of football. Desmond Howard, Mr. Heisman Trophy, I start with you. Who is your front runner to win the Heisman this year? 30 seconds. Go.
Okay, Greeny, it's close now. It's like splitting hairs. A lot of people like Kyle Trask, Florida's quarterback, having a fantastic season. But I will go right now with Alabama's quarterback, Mac Jones. I mean, he protects the ball. He's 3 interceptions so far. I know that was a bad one. But he's completing 77% of his passes. They have a very strong running game. I like Mac Jones over Kyle Trask right now. But it's a close race. If we get our wish, if everything goes as scripted, the two will play against each other head-to-head. But right now, I would have to give the nod to Mac Jones.
You're pretty remarkable considering all the success the Tua had there, if this is the guy who winds up winning the Heisman. Next up, RC. Are the Rams a serious contender to win the NFC and make it back to the Super Bowl? 30 seconds, go.
They absolutely are, Greeny. This is a complete team. This team's 4-man rush is the best in the entire league. And this young secondary led by Jalen Ramsey is flat out balling. And what we saw Monday night is that they have weapons. They couldn't even run the football. And Jared Goff was able to drop back 50 times and get a win. And Cooper Kupp was killing people. And so when you watch this team, you have to be excited. We all know how excellent their coach is, but now we see how complete of a football team the Los Angeles Rams are. And I think when you look at teams in totality, it goes New Orleans Saints, Los Angeles Rams. We could get a repeat of that championship game.
Okay, and then one more, 30 seconds. Graziano, I'm told you've heard some things on this show about the Ravens this year that you have an issue with. 30 seconds, what are they?
The popular opinion seems to be that the Ravens are struggling on offense because they can't create explosive plays. But the fact is that they are creating explosive plays at a higher rate than they did last year. Their problem is they can't sustain drives. Their average drive last year covered 40 yards. That was first in the league. This year it's covering about 31 yards. That's 24th in the league. They're not running the ball up the middle as effectively. They lost Marshall Yanda, the great guard who retired right before the season. That's had a much greater impact on Baltimore's ability to score points than anything about explosive plays or Lamar Jackson throwing outside the numbers.
And tomorrow night, if they are able to play, they'll play without their top two running backs. Guys, sit tight. Much more football as we go. But college basketball is back and better than ever tonight. Well, we hope. They officially get underway with a number of top-ranked teams in action, including number 3 Villanova taking on Boston College. You'll see it on ESPN. And if college basketball is back, that means it is time for my uncle Seth Greenberg, no relation, who joins us here getting ready to go. All right, Seth, here we go. As fans get ready for this, and it sort of comes up on us every single year, give the fans 3 players they need to be keeping an eye on as the season begins.
First, Cade Cunningham. Cade Cunningham of Oklahoma State, 6'6", point guard, sees over the defense, can beat you off the bounce, shoots the 3, reads all 5 defenders. He instantly makes Oklahoma State must-see TV. He's a dynamic guard with size and length. He'll be the number 1 pick in the NBA draft, and he gets others involved. He's a facilitator. He is a special player, and if Oklahoma State's eligible for the NCAA tournament, he'll be fun to watch. Luka Garza, to me, my man Garzilla. He plays harder than any player in college basketball. He's relentless. Reminds me a little bit of Tyler Hansborough. He gets to the foul line because he plays to contact. He can knock down the 3. You can put him in a ball screen. He can short roll. And he is relentless, absolutely relentless on the glass. Then we got my man Scotty Barnes. Scotty Barnes at Florida State. People say, wait a second, Scotty Barnes, Florida State. Leonard Hamilton said he's a mix between Magic Johnson and Scottie Pippen. Yes, I said that right. Magic Johnson and Scottie Pippen. 6'9", point forward, can initiate the fast break. He's a relentless defender, has great energy that he plays with. And Leonard says he has a voice. And what I mean by that is he is totally engaged in the game with his teams, and he's connected. Those 3 guys are going to be a blast to watch. Those 2 freshmen, a little Zion-esque.
All right. And look, so we got Zion, we got Scottie Pippen, we got Magic Johnson. We're doing pretty good. And it's basketball season. If Seth Greenberg is using the term off the bounce, then college basketball is back. Give us the teams then. So who are we watching for? If everybody is at their best, look, this is going to be a crazy season, of course, with all kinds of other considerations. But if everybody is at their best, who are the best teams in the country?
I think Gonzaga. Corey Kispert is back. Drew Timmy's going to give him a terrific inside scoring threat. They've got experience. They've got toughness. Love Gonzaga. Then right from there, you're going to go to Villanova. You're talking about a Villanova team. 4 returning starters. Colin Gillespie makes big shots. Jeremiah Robinson all gives them an inside scorer. Then on top of that, you got Virginia. You say, yes, yeah, Virginia. Embrace the pace. They're for real. And then my outside the box, Greeny, is Illinois. Ayo Dosunmu might play as hard as any player in the country. The dude's a winning player and makes big shots.
And then one very quick thought. You were telling me the impact that COVID could have. The one thing you said to me as we were getting set that I hadn't heard anybody else say. What's the one thing no one is talking about that could wind up being a big impact this year? Real quick.
Can't play the games without the officials. What happens if an official in a crew tests positive? That whole crew is done for 14 days. You multiply that by a couple of different officiating crews that gets impacted, you're going to run out of officials. You're going to play games with only 2 officials. So we're talking about the games. The games can't be played without the officials. That's going to be a factor throughout the course of the season.
He is my Uncle Seth, no relation. College basketball back tonight. Great to see you, Seth. We'll check in tomorrow. Thank you. And you'll see the games coming your way tonight. ESPN.